Stop number one here for the EQ series, the Nitro Bassmaster EQs. It's the 3-tournament sprint to end the long marathon that we call the Bassmaster Opens. Lake Champlain, the playing field this week, and what a great place to start with 100 of the best Opens anglers you could possibly ask for. Top 50 in Division 1, top 50 in Division 2, all qualified to be here, and it is the who's who for the Bassmaster Opens here at the EQ Series. Welcome into the Bassmaster Studio, sponsored by Marathon. We got Mike Sucon, myself, Ronnie Moore, and Greg DePalma, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro in studio. And guys, it was a phenomenal tournament. What a great tournament venue. Like we say, one of the best tournament venues you could ever have, Lake Champlain. But Such, a lot rides on big water, a lot of waves, broken equipment. You can't slip because the weights are so tight, and there are quite a few anglers who fell below the 20s and 30s and put themselves in a hole for the qualification.
Yeah, we had some rough waters and some guys complaining about the water going over their boat, but they had to get out there and catch them anyway. Some guys caught 50 fish in conditions like that, and you had to have a 3-pound, 13-ounce fish to just to hit the average. There were guys with the 22.5 pounds. 4.5-pound average is pretty good stout. Lake Champlain was really showing out a really good average for this fishery. Better than the Elite Series.
Yeah, absolutely. And the difference from the Elite Series is a lot of our events in the Elites have been in July and early to mid-August. We're here in mid-September, and the one other big thing, the water from when we've been here the last few times is much lower. 2 feet lower than 2024, 4 feet lower than 2023. Greg DePalma, how did the low water impact the fish biting like the largemouth, and then also the September period for the smallmouth size?
Yeah, so as far as the largemouth go in the low water, I'm not so sure it impacted a lot of the bigger fish. I think you had to get around them, and if you couldn't get around them, you obviously didn't catch them. But the low water in the smallmouth too, to be honest with you, I feel like it doesn't really matter when it comes to the smallmouth. Them deep water fish are going to be out there somewhere. So you just got to locate them. They're going to be in some small flotillas with the guys around them. They're going to catch them. And as far as September goes, they're going to be fatter. That's all there is to it. They're just eating up for the winter time. They're going to weigh more. The weights are going to be better.
Fall feedback most definitely showed up this week at Lake Champlain as we take it to some of our top competitors from this week's event that definitely put their best foot forward for qualifying for the Elite Series and taking home the trophy here at Lake Champlain. And one of the anglers, he's been rising up through the college ranks at Auburn University. He's fished the Bass Nation events as well, and he's had a great resume in the Bassmaster Opens in his young career. Sam Hanggi lived most of his day in that northern portion of the inland sea. Very, very calm today. Uncharacteristic from what we normally see in the inland sea. And Sam Hanggi was able to catch a lot of smallmouth today, started to really build his bag, and the tide turned for him, Greg DePalma, when he caught that 5-pounder. We talk about how 3.5s are the staple, 4.5s gets you in contention. If you can catch a 5-pounder and it not be a green one, you are way ahead of the ball game.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, the big brown ones here are elusive and hard to catch, but when you catch one of them and you got a solid bag behind it, you are going to separate yourself. There's no doubt about that. It's been that way since the beginning of time here.
I thought you were saying calm. The man was calm, not the water. He is a calm, cool, collected angler. Very positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to make it to the Bassmaster Classic in his hometown. He went to Auburn University, but there may be a little bit of orange showing under his heart there, as he's a Knoxville native looking to fish Fort Loudon and Tellico. And he came up from low in the pack, guys. When we think about making big comebacks, yes, the weights are tight at Champlain, but 3 pounds back, that is a hard deficit to make up. Started the day in 8th place, 2 pounds, 13 ounces behind our leader, 2 pounds, 11 ounces behind 2nd place. He had a big hill to climb. That 5-pounder gave him the right boots to wear to climb that mountain. And boy, he put it to the test and is right there in the top 5 all afternoon. And Sam Hanggi definitely showed out on smallmouth all week long here at Lake Champlain. Had a big loss midday that really kind of hindered his ability to maybe grow even more. 1 5-pounder is great, Greg DePalma. 2 5-pounders is magical.
That's to say the least, for sure, Ronnie.
Another guy who's looking for one thing and one thing only, 4-pounders today and a victory. Emil Wagner, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro. He was in this position last year, trying to qualify for the Bassmaster Elite Series. He did so, and now coming back to give the Opens anglers a taste of their own medicine, you know what I'm saying? Now he's just fishing for the win, not fishing for points. He's already qualified, and guys, held a 2-ounce lead. And this morning, Greg, do you like his mentality, throwing back every single fish that wasn't 3.5 pounds or bigger? He was really keyed in on needing that bigger size.
Man, you know, I do, but I don't. And I think he felt the same way about midday, that he was starting to feel the pressure of throwing them fish back. But he ended up rebounding, I think. I think he's going to be okay.
It's kind of funny. He started putting in 2-pounders when he had let the 3-pounders go, but he made up for it with catching those near 4-pounders.
And we saw midday or later in the day, the later 3 hours of the day, he had 3 fish that were 3 3/4 each, maybe 4-pounders, and that was when we knew he has fulfilled his comeback, and he's going to be right there with this guy, Matt Messer, our day 1 leader, 23 pounds, 9 ounces on day 1, 22 pounds even on day 2. Fell back 2 ounces shy of Emil Wagner, but after a slow first hour of the day, that sun rose to the right level on the horizon that it needs to be. Sometimes we see that slow starts on smallmouth. Once it gets just bright enough, those deeper fish really start to fire up. And he went keepers 2, 3, 4, and 5 were all 4-pounders. And Matt Messer was feeling it, looking for his second Bassmaster Opens victory. He wouldn't mind fishing not far from home, Kentucky angler. Fishing in Knoxville, Tennessee wouldn't be too shabby at all. And overall, didn't run around a lot, Greg DePalma. We saw a lot of guys moving around. He stayed in that New York side, but just in the same area overall all day long.
Yeah, he definitely planted his roots today. We talked about that. You know, sometimes when you do that, you know, what's left in them areas, you come across them and they're the right ones.
We had some big days today from the likes of Christian Nash, Cody Stahl, Sam Hanggi, and then our top 2 guys duking it out all week, Matt Messer and Emil Wagner. We got Tom Abraham on site at Lake Champlain with Hank Weldon to do the honors. Tom, the winning moment is yours. Take it away.
Pretty close, so we're going to see. Come on up here. Again, 22 pounds, 11 ounces is what Emil Wagner needs for the win. He comes in with 45-11, again out of Marietta, Georgia. Emil Wagner. 22-10 is a tie. 22-11 to win. And it has been close. Guys, get side by side here. It has been close. It was a 1-ounce lead day 1. It was a 2-ounce lead day 2 for Emil Wagner. He came in leading this thing. 23 pounds, 7 ounces for the victory. Emil Wagner is a Champlain champion in the first ever Nitro Boats Bassmaster Elite Qualifier. And that, by the way, puts John Cruz into the Bassmaster Classic as well. So he can expect a thank you text, I would imagine. And we're going to get this trophy ready here for the handoff. All right, last fish. Now tell us what the deets were, because, you know, you win this thing by a pound or so. Tell us how much you gained with that last fish.
It cold one right at 4, and it weighed about 476 or something. So it ended up giving me 3/4 of a pound. And I know they posted it on social. I'd lost, probably the biggest fish I'd seen all week about 30 minutes before that. And man, I can't believe it. That's crazy.
$58,000. No points, because you're not here for points. But you know what? Old Hank has got a beautiful trophy for you. Why don't you hold that up high? Congratulations. There he is, your Champlain champion, Emil Wagner.